Namskar B, Namskar Brandon, Namskar Chloe, Namskar Ella, Namskar Franny, Namskar Gemma, Namskar Griffin, Namskar Harley, Namskar Henry, Namskar James, Namskar Joel, Namskar Leo, Namskar Lincoln, Namskar Mason, Namskar Oliver, Namskar Owen, Namskar Quinn, Namskar Rex, Namskar Rocco, Namskar Simon, Namskar Susanna, Namskar Zanny, Namskar Friends, Namskar Friends. Namskar. You guys remember, right, that Namskar means hello in the language of Hindi. And the language of Hindi is one of the languages spoken in the country of India that we are learning about right now. And India, we know, is a part of this largest continent on our earth, part of the continent of Asia. All right, so today I wanted to talk about a very interesting and very majestic kind of land in India. And this kind of land does not have a lot of plants. And this kind of land does not have a lot of animals. And this kind of land does not even have a lot of people. This kind of land is very dry, and there's lots and lots of sand in this kind of land. I wonder if you guys can help me to sound this word out down here. Let's look at this word. We see the first sound in this word is, da. S, t. This word says desert. That's right. We're going to learn a little bit about a really interesting desert in India. And this desert is called the Thar Desert. Can you guys say the Thar Desert? The Thar Desert is in northern India up here, and part of it is in this little country called Pakistan. You see that Pakistan and India touch each other. The Thar Desert is about this big up here in India, so it takes up a lot of land in India. This is a really beautiful picture of the desert, the Thar Desert in India. You can see lots and lots of sand. Yeah. So I wanted to talk a little bit about your guys' homes. I know that you guys all have really lovely homes with your families, that you go into your home to get out of the cold wind or the rain or the snow. And your home is a place that really lives in your heart, isn't it? It's a place that all of you really, really love. When you're inside your home, you feel love for your family and you feel warm inside your home. What else is in your home? Let's see, there's a kitchen where you can cook, and there's a bathroom, and there's your bedroom with your nice cozy bed in it. Well, most people love their homes, and everybody has different kinds of homes. I want to learn a little bit about a special kind of home inside India today. Let's look at this word here now. See if you guys can help me. I bet you don't even need my help with this word. We have a t. This word says hut. Hut. A hut is a special kind of house in India, in the desert here. I'm going to show you a picture of this and see if we can find some similarities, things that are same between your house and a hut in India. So this is what the outside of the hut looks like. You can see the walls of the hut here. Your walls of your house might be built out of things like wood or bricks. Maybe your house has cement on the outside or stucco. Well, these walls of this hut are actually built out of mud. This hut has mud walls. I bet if you looked up right now in your house, let's do it. Look up. What do you see? You see your ceiling. And the outside of your ceiling is called your roof, isn't it? Your roof is probably built with wood and shingles. And this roof is built out of grass. So this house we see is built out of mud and out of grass. It looks a little bit different than your house does, I bet. But you know, this house does all of the same things that your house does. This house keeps the people that live in there warm and comfortable and happy. And they have their friends over at their house and their families. They cook food in their house, just like you do. It's fun to think about different people's houses all over the world. There's some really interesting houses, and all of the houses really do the same thing for all of the different people, even though they might look a little bit different. I have a couple more pictures of the Thar Desert in India that I would like to show you. This is a picture of a city, an urban area inside the Thar Desert. Looks like a lot of the houses might be built out of mud in this picture as well. You can see they've painted them some bright and happy colors. They probably love their city just like you love your city. Here's another picture of the Thar Desert. Oh my goodness. How would you feel if you were to be able to stand in the middle of that desert and look out for miles and miles and see all of those beautiful sand dunes? Gosh, I bet you'd feel really peaceful if you got to do that. So there's another kind of person that I would like to talk about that lives in the Thar Desert. There's another word that you may not have heard before, right down here. Let's look at this word. I see it starts with This word says nomadic. And nomadic means a person that travels from one area to another area in search of resources. Resources are things like supplies that you might need to stay alive. So we know that people need food, and people need water, and people need sunshine. People need all sorts of things to stay alive. So these nomadic people, they travel around the desert looking for water and looking for food, and they bring lots of supplies with them so they can set up camps along the way, and they might have a small village set up for a while, and then the water runs out, and so the nomadic people get on their transportation and they move to another area in the desert where they can find more resources to live. But I want to look again at this. Lots and lots of sand. Now, most of you use probably a couple different kinds of transportation here in Missoula. I bet some of you have bicycles that you ride around town. I bet some of you use your 2 feet to do a lot of walking. And I bet some of you have a car that you use to drive. Now, if you can imagine, it would be difficult to drive a car through all of this sand. And it would be difficult to ride your bicycle through all of this sand. So there's kind of a fun way that these nomadic people get around the desert. And it's on an animal, a really cool animal that's a mammal that lives in India. And it starts with a k, 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 k. And the funny thing about these animals is sometimes they can spit at you. And they all have humps on their back. Some of them have 1 hump, and some of them have 2 humps. I'm going to say the sounds of this animal and see if you guys at home can figure out what I'm saying. Are you ready? K, a, l. K, a, l. That's right. I'm talking about a camel. The nomadic people use a camel for transportation around the desert. This camel has 2 humps, so that makes this camel a Bactrian camel. Do you guys remember the song about the camels? Let's sing that together. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Dromedary camels have 1 hump. Dromedary camels have 1 hump. Dromedary camels have 1 hump, so ride, camel, ride, boom, boom, boom. Bactrian camels have 2 humps. Bactrian camels have 2 humps. Bactrian camels have 2 humps, so ride, camel, ride, boom, boom, boom. That was a really fun song to sing, isn't it? Did you guys know that camels store water in their humps, but they also store something very important? They store fat in their humps. So a camel can go about 2 weeks without eating any food. And inside her big humps, she stores fat and water, probably so she can get these people across the desert on their long, long journeys. So some other animals that live in the desert would be a cobra. It seems like we've learned that a lot of reptiles live in the desert. Do you guys remember seeing the picture of the snake charmer the other day? He was using a cobra in his basket. Remember, he had the cobra in his basket and he had the flute, and he would play the song, and the snake would come up, and he had it trained to kind of do a little dance, and it's really interesting to watch those snake charmers do their work. And then we have an invertebrate. So this is an invertebrate. I'm not an invertebrate, and you're not an invertebrate. You're a vertebrate. Let's all touch our vertebrates here. Yeah, vertebrates. I'm touching my vertebrates. I'm going to stretch my vertebrates up nice and tall and sit up nice and straight. And let's talk about the 5 different kinds of vertebrates. So there's the hairy kind, like me. I'm one of those kind of vertebrates, and so are you. We are called mammals. What do we know about mammals? Mammals have hair. Mammals give live birth. Mammals breathe air. Let's see if we can come up with another kind of vertebrate. There's the kind of vertebrate that lives in the water and has gills and lays eggs. I wonder if you guys can figure out what kind of vertebrate I'm talking about. It's a fish. Do you think there's any fish in the desert? No, because there's no water. So we've talked about mammals, and we've talked about fish, and we talked about this guy, a reptile. What do we know about reptiles? So reptiles have dry scales, and they lay eggs, and they breathe air, and they either have no legs, like this cobra here, or they have 4 legs. So we've said a mammal, we've said a fish, we've said a reptile. What is the kind that's all wet and slimy when you touch it? And it's called an amphibian. Things like turtles or salamanders are amphibians. Amphibians. So what have we said? We've said amphibian, we've said mammal, we've said fish, we've said reptile. And then there's the kind of vertebrate that has feathers. And some of these vertebrates know how to fly. They're called birds. Well, this guy that we were just looking at, he's not a bird, and he's not a mammal, and he's not a reptile, and he's not an amphibian, and he's not a fish. He's an invertebrate. He doesn't have any bones. He has what we call an exoskeleton. This is called a scorpion, and he also lives in the desert. So it's morning right now for all of us here in, where are we at? There we are, here in North America. And I brought this special lamp with me today to symbolize, to represent that big star at the very center of our solar system that all of the planets orbit around. Do you guys remember what that big star is called? It's called the sun. Well, right now, the sun is shining on North America. So it's morning or daytime in North America. And we know that as the earth spins like this, it changes from day in North America, afternoon in North America. You guys can't see North America because it's facing me, but it's getting toward evening and you guys are eating dinner. You're getting ready for bed, you brushed your teeth, got your jammies on, reading a story, you're fast asleep. Over here in North America, do you see how the sun is not hitting North America? North America is in the darkness. But if we look over here, where is the sun shining now? The sun is shining on Asia, on the largest continent, the one we're studying. So while you guys are fast asleep, dreaming your wonderful dreams, the kids in India are awake and having breakfast and getting dressed and going to school and going out to play and singing songs and working on their sounds and working on their numbers and having a great old time. And then what happens? It's getting towards evening. They're going home from school. They're putting their play clothes on, going outside to play. Looks like it might be getting time to eat some dinner. The kids are eating dinner in India. They're getting their jammies on, getting tucked into their beds. Maybe they live in a hut with mud walls. And they're fast asleep. And you guys, again, it's morning time. In India, they're fast asleep. And here in North America, you are just getting ready to start your day. But since these sweet little kids in India are fast asleep, maybe we could sing them a special song in the language of Hindi about a little chipmunk. Do you guys remember? Let's try it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Anile, va, va, va. Ayakia, anile, va, va, va. Chipmunk, come, come, come. Beautiful chipmunk, come, come, come. Climb way up the guava tree. Bring a ripe fruit down to me. Anile, va, va, va. Ayaki, anile, va, va, va. All right, friends, have a great day. Thanks for joining me.